And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to our next series. We're jumping in mid-series here into game number 2, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Hecate, we have our Polish Protoss player from representing Team Liquid. It is MaNa. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the blue Zerg player representing CSO esports. It is Viper. Here we go. Sorry, I was just catching up in the chat. Catching up. Yes, I'm still on the laptop. Still on the laptop, papi. For at least a couple more weeks, but here we go. We're jumping in mid-series. The reason for this, we could follow Flexi into Cristiano. That is true. But again, I'm a little bit greedy, and there's another series that I do have my eyes on that I want to follow this into. Flexi versus Cristiano, I'm sure is going to be a great series. But again, Cristiano is more of a heavy favorite there. And when it comes to the following series, I am keeping my eye out for the eventual opponent. The eventual opponent that is going to be facing off against the winner of this series. So again, we are going to be skipping on over here into MaNa versus Viper. Oh boy, let's go. For the time being, Hatch Gas Pool opener out of Viper, forced to take the unnatural. Natural Probe is having its way with these drones quite a bit, actually. Oh god, no! The drone! One worker goes down. Ooh, a rough loss in the early game here. MaNa, again, flexing his probe control, his probe harassment. Recently, of course, MaNa was featured in a Stormgate show match, but we also saw last week MaNa take down Hero Marine. It was a crazy result. For those who weren't here, check out the VODs. MaNa, he eliminated Hero Marine, Big Gabe, from the tournament. And we were all in shock. And he did quite well. Like, he didn't, like, cheese him out or anything. Like, solid play. Solid play out of MaNa in that series against Gabe. Very impressive stuff. We were lucky enough to cast it, so check out the VODs. MaNa did end up falling to Clem last week, but I mean, that's Clem, right? I mean, like, that's meant to happen. That's supposed to happen. So MaNa, his reign did eventually end, but he had a really deep run, and that's also why my eyes are on MaNa this week. I want to see how much further he can go. I want to see if he can replicate his success and maybe even have a rematch with Big Gabe later on. It's possible. Meanwhile, early Roach Warren. This was, what, a 2-minute 40-ish Roach Warren timing very early on. We're going for an all-in. We're going for a rush. No droning whatsoever here at the natural base. The Adept does confirm that, by the way, so big scout here by MaNa. Back at home, shield battery is on the way for MaNa already. He's setting up defensively. Lings are flooding. Roaches are on the way. Viper is going all in. And we're recalling back home. We realize what's happening. We're walling off. Good reaction by MaNa. He walls off with the pylon, just to make sure everything stays powered. Oracle is on the way, as it was a Stargate opener from MaNa. Oracle will help. We'll need a Void Ray, though. We will need that Void Ray, as we're getting a lot of damage done. The wall is looking fragile. It's going to be going down. We can see MaNa throwing down a secondary wall here at the natural. Shield battery is going to fall. Lings are busting in. They're going for the pylon. Again, we do have a secondary wall behind this. We do wall off. Another shield battery is on the way. This one Adept is going ham. And we're soon about to have a second Adept. And where is that Oracle? Oracle has finally made it. We can go ham. We can clean up all these Lings, as the Oracle does threaten them. Looking down at them menacing. There we go. We activate the beam. We clean up all the Lings. We cancel the gateways. The confidence here by MaNa. But the problem here is that we're not done. We're still flooding Lings, and we are amassing Roaches. And now there isn't a secondary wall, but we have a shield battery, we have an overcharge, we have a lot of Adepts. Oracles are moving out. They get eyes to the Roaches. Big scout here by MaNa, but he sees the Roaches. Even though he sees them, can he stop them? That is the question. Again, we don't have a Void Ray, we don't have another Oracle. Oh, sorry, I should say we don't have a third Oracle. As MaNa, he once again confirms the lack of expansion, lack of saturation. Warping in more Adepts. How many Roaches do we have? 7. Not a bad amount, especially if we morph in some Ravagers. We have potential. We have potential to bust in. No Ravagers, though. Meanwhile, across the map, we're picking off drones. Workers are going down. We get 6 drone kills. 1 Oracle falls. You can see here the Roaches and Lings are flooding on forward. We have the overcharge, and we keep the Zealot alive. Again, if we had Ravagers, we could bust through, potentially. We could break in. We could break forward here as we get 12 worker kills across the map. The Living Roach barely breaks through into the natural, but there's just not enough here. No shield battery, but I mean, there's just not enough left over. 3 roaches remain. Now down to 2, now down to 1 roach. Aye. Reinforcements have arrived, but it's just not enough to break through. MaNa, he takes a 3rd base. MaNa's looking quite chill, cool, calm, and collected. He's easily swatting this back. Void Ray has arrived. That's what I was concerned about. It is here. GG, well played. Good sir. As MaNa is going to be able to hold, defend, and clean this up. Does tap out, and MaNa takes the series 2-0. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations to MaNa as he does take the series 2-0. Things were looking a little bit scary for a moment. I was a little bit concerned that he did not take the all-in seriously enough, but no, he shuts it down, doesn't take any economic damage, cleans it up, shows us how, how well MaNa can defend. And with that, he will take the series 2-0. My condolences to Viper, but a good showing nonetheless. We missed out on game 1, but especially when there's a skill disparity, when you're up against a pro player, I do love that we come at it from a different perspective, with the perspective of, going for the all-in and trying to cheese out a pro. I do appreciate it. With that, MaNa advances on into the next round to face off against his opponent. Oh boy. It is going to be MaNa versus Eva in the next round.